Today we're going to talk about medical stupidity. Good morning. Hi friends, how you doing? Been a little while, as it always is on this channel. I haven't done a disability piece to camera in a few yonks, which is a technical term, yonks. And it's sad because I love those videos because I get to chat to people like me. I get to talk to people who have similar conditions. You'd think that maybe I would do more of them, therefore I wouldn't feel so alone and isolated in my medical conditions, and yet. Today we're going to talk about medical stupidity. Not via any one person's mistake. We're going to talk about the fact that I have EDS. It's been officially confirmed as of a few months ago. I have the hypermobility spectrum disorder version of EDS, meaning that I've got no collagen in my body, which I knew was probably going to be the case because I am me and I'm very well educated on these conditions. But what would have been helpful is if when I was diagnosed with POTS, all the way back when, it was when I was 20. I was diagnosed with POTS when I was 20. I'm 26 now. It would have been helpful for them at the same time to be like, hey, you are very indicative of EDS as well. Go do your EDS testing and any symptoms that come from EDS might be able to help you out with. Instead, when I was diagnosed with POTS, I got a report from the doctor, which in a really small section of the text said, possible EDS, probably, but whatever. Now, I missed that. Because guess what? I'm not a medical professional. I'm pretty well versed in medical jargon because I've had a disability for most of my life. So I went through the last 5 years of my life being like, well, they didn't catch it then, so I probably don't have it, but oh my god, all these symptoms keep coming up and they don't work with POTS. They only really work with EDS. I think I've got EDS. And I do. Basically. My point here is, I get bleeding under the skin. That is EDS, but nothing really I can do about it. I, on the other hand, have trouble eating. Now, I will say trigger warning for eating topics. If that's your problem, maybe steer clear, but it's not a mental eating problem, it's a physical eating problem, so take it how you find it. I can't eat properly. Any food I eat causes me pain. Any food I eat makes me want to lie down very quickly after eating it. I am dizzy, I am faint, I experience blackouts, there's pain, there's heart palpitations, and there's excessive sweating, which is lovely if you're someone who knows me as a friend. Well, finally, after 6 years, I went and saw a EDS doctor. First, I saw an EDS doctor who specialized in bone stuff. I'm not sure what the exact word is for that. And he basically met him and he said he just looked, he read through the things I'd had done, the tests I'd had done, the diagnoses, and just went, I don't even need to do any tests on you, you have EDS. And the fact that this wasn't confirmed early on is really concerning. And just weird. So yeah, he got the EDS diagnosis. But then I was talking to him about all the issues I have with eating. Like, eating sucks. And I am gonna say now, a little bit of a gross trigger warning. I tend to throw up my food because everything is still in the upper digestive tract, my esophagus, and it doesn't go down. It doesn't go down fast enough. It all stays up here in my neck. And I find myself just spitting out mouthfuls in a very disgusting way. And I was just like, yeah, this is normal for me. I've had this most of my life, therefore what can one do about it? Turns out people can do something about it. I should have known this 6 years ago. I should not have had to deal with pain and distress for this amount of time. So he recommended me to a lovely doctor who's a colleague of his who is a gastroenterologist, so studies the gastro thing, but he also looks at EDS people and the connections there. Went to see him. Very quickly, he was like, yep, you have a type of gastroparalysis. Not the extreme type, but something kind of similar. Your system's not working fast, but we'll do some tests to confirm it. What he also said, which really actually made me feel a little bit better about myself, was usually by the time people are at your level of problems, they will be in hospital for line feeding, and they will have not have done as much stuff as you seem to have done. I explained, I managed to get my BA, I managed to get my master's, although it was very difficult. And bless him, he said, like, most people I see just don't, the symptoms kick in at that point in your life, and therefore they never finish school. So the fact that you finished school is really cool and incredible of itself, which I'm sitting there just like blushing, just being like, thank you. I'm also really stubborn. So that made me feel really good, bless him. But basically his next thing was like, well, again, this should have been picked up earlier. Why wasn't any gastro stuff picked up much earlier? Because guess what happens when you have food that's not digesting in your stomach and you have constant acid reflux? Things can get damaged over time. I should have been seen so much earlier. About 3 weeks ago, I had a gastronomy, which is basically an endoscopy. They shoved a camera down my throat and looked at my stomach. I had the phone call with him to go over it, and he's like, yeah, your stomach, good news, is emptying itself on time, because in the extreme cases, some people have food in their upper esophagus for 2 days past eating it, which is not good at all. It's awful. Causes so many symptoms. He said, well, your system was clear, but there was a noticeable and concerning lack of movement in your stomach. To those who are unsure as to what the heck I'm talking about, you need collagen in your body at a very low level, and you can't just say take collagen tablets. That does nothing for people like me. It means everything is ultra stretchy, everything bends, and it also means that the systems inside your body, your heart, your digestive system, stuff like that, are loose. You're a loosey-goose. So my system is not contracting at the speed it should be or at the efficiency it should be for me to digest food properly. Hence all the frickin' problems. Who would have known? I'm honestly a bit salty about that. That should have been picked up years ago. I now need to go for more testing. They are going to shove a camera down my nose and my throat, and they're going to give me some water and something to eat, and they're going to watch what my system does. The good news is there's actual medication and procedures that could help me. I am on now domperidone, 10 milligrams. This speeds up your digestive system. I don't have as much nausea anymore. I used to have nausea from 10 minutes after I woke up in the morning all the way through to when I went to bed. And I will take pain over nausea any goddamn day. Nausea sucks. It makes you disinterested in everything. So the fact that I have less nausea, hell yeah, good, love that. Next up, there's something which they can do, which is Botox, which, I mean, I think I still look good, don't you? Nah, never mind. Basically, they inject it into your system, and it basically causes, there's like a little... Alexa, stop! She's rude. Basically, there's like a little circle in your stomach from like the upper tract to the lower tract, and basically what the Botox can do is it can loosen it, it can make it wider, which means food, of course, will slip through faster. Meaning that although my system isn't working as well, it will go fast. We'll see where this can go. But there are actual tangible, like solutions to my problem. The fact that this wasn't picked up really puts a bee in my bonnet. What's the point of this video? Not a lot. This is an update. What I will say is if you're watching this and you are someone who has, I've got this condition, but I also might have this condition, go check your medical, documentation, because they might have just mentioned it in passing and not done anything about it. Yeah, that's it. Bye. Take 3, take 4, take 5, take 6. Jesus fucking Christ, I hate talking to camera, but I love it. But what a bit...